Hello viewers all over the world. Welcome to Ego Studio. Today we are coming up with a program that we know very well you are going to fall in love with. And this program has to do with a documentary. I know we've done a lot of documentary before, but this particular one is different from the one we have always done. And this one has to do with Ebhoiyi Royal Village in Uromi. Yeah, why we feel this one is different from other type of documentary is Ebhoiyi is the royal house of the Chronology of Uromi. And again, Ebhoiyi in size and land mass is almost equal to half of Uromi altogether. Again, you discover that Ebhoiyi history is almost Uromi history because most of the history of Ebhoiyi has to do with Uromi as a whole, as a people. So for that reason, we are going to be presenting this documentary in segments because we cannot cover the whole Ebhoiyi history in a single documentary. No. Today we'll be starting the documentary with the opening of the documentary. And in subsequent weeks and others, we are going to be adding other part of the documentary to make it more understood by you after watching it. But I want to sound one advice here to all these people. The idea of keeping our history is important. Sadly today, the government, for whatever reason known to them, has taken history out of our curricula, meaning history is no longer part of what we study in school. And this, we feel, is very, very wrong. A reason we have to create the enablement to study our history ourselves. This is where you see this idea of documentary now comes in. You see, history is like a guide. History is like a footpath, or it's a reflection of how to solve future problems. Now, most of the things that happen today have taken place in the past. With the knowledge of history, if anything happens, we can always take our mind back. This thing happened at so and so period in the past. How was it resolved? You now take a cue from you take a look at how it was resolved, and they apply the wisdom today, and it will be resolved. You see, the present is a bridge between the past and the future. And the only way we can navigate ourselves to the future is to have that deep knowledge of our history. This is why you see every village, every community, everywhere in this land must wake up and make sure the history of their people are told. Because once you lost your history, you'll be lost as a people. History connects our language, it connects our culture, it connects our tradition, and this altogether makes a people. Now when you lost everything about your culture, your tradition, your language, your history, you become a lost person, you become a slave. Because knowing about other people's culture and their language to the exclusion of your own makes you a slave. Yeah, that is the way it is. There's no two ways about it. So why we are saying on this one is, if tomorrow you feel you want the history of your people to be told and to be kept forever on YouTube and in other social media handle, reach out to us. We will do it, and we do it perfectly well. And at the end, you'll be glad you did. So we'll be opening the documentary anytime from now, and I'm sure you are going to enjoy everything we'll be doing here today. Your host, Sunday Eimari Inegudose, Ego Studio, London, UK. Stay place and don't go away. Thank you very much. Like I told you just now in the brief intro, we'll be commencing the documentary of Ebhoiyi today. As you all know, Ebhoiyi is the royal blood of Uromi. And again, it has very many timber and caliber when it comes to people, when it comes to men, anything you can think of. they are far ahead in so many areas in Uromi. And you may know again that the origin of Uromi is of Ebhoiyi descent. So the interview will rotate around the princes and princesses of Ebhoiyi only. So today now we have a prince, an academic giant, and an authority when it comes to Esan language and Esan history. Though you've seen him multiple times here on Eagle Studio, but again today he's here on a different mission. And I want to say one thing about this, our gentleman. He's one man we have a lot of respect for in the whole of Esan. You know why? His knowledge is one thing we all need to tap from. And he's always selfless with it. So a lot of thanks to our man. I want to say a big thank you again to the man for hosting us right here again. So we are starting the documentary right here now, sir. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you, my brother.
Yeah, the people want to meet you by introduction, sir.
I'm Professor Joseph Eziene Ahyampa, an architect by profession.
Yeah, sir, we will be talking about Eoji today. We are kickstarting today. So I wanted to start from this angle. Some persons call it Eoji, others call it Ebhoiyi, while some others call it Ebhoiyi. Sir, please clear the air on this. Which of the three is correct? Or if the three are wrong, give us the correct pronunciation of the name, sir.
The correct name is Ebhoiyi. Ebhoiyi. There are three parts. Ebhoiyi, Onwa. When you combine it, it becomes a compound word. Ebhoiyi Onwa. That has to do that. A place of established place for us. Iyi means establishment. Something you have established as a norm, as a tradition. Then Ewo is a place.
Okay.
So, for short, Ebhoiyi. Onwa is a Benin word.
Okay.
It came from Benin, and because we are from Benin, from the palace in Benin, that is why you have that one there. That is the old Esa. Now you cannot say Ebhoiyi no Samare.
In the Esan.
In Esa, now
Okay.
if you want to understand it in the recent current English now, I mean the Esa language.
Okay.
For anybody to understand what I say is Ebhoiyi no Samare.
Okay.
What I mean by Ebhoiyi Oma. Ebhoiyi Oma means Ebhoiyi no Samare. That's the full explanatory meaning of it.
Okay. Thank you very much. I think this...
So for short, it's easier to call it Ebhoiyi.
Okay.
But Ebhoiyi is not correct. It's Anglophone.
Okay.
Yes. When the colonial masters came, they couldn't pronounce Ebhoiyi. They not decided to call it Ebhoiyi.
Okay.
So Ebhoiyi is wrong.
Okay. Ebhoiyi is the correct.
Yes.
Good, sir. But you just made a statement that we are from Benin, from the Abbas Palace.
Yes.
But that's one thing I want to clear here. You see, many people have the notion that some people has nothing to do with Benin at all, that Esan is just on their own, the Benin are just on their own. But you just made a statement now that the Ebhoiyi are from the palace in Benin. Sir, please, can you throw more light
Not
into
the
this?
entire Esan that is from Benin.
Okay, good.
For example, Iduweka and Ukoni are from Agbo.
Ika.
Then Iduruwa in Walo village, they are from Irua.
Okay.
Then Amedokian, a larger portion of Amedokian, they are from Ebhoiyi
Yes.
or Kanigbe.
Okay.
Kanigbe village.
Ebhoiyi, yeah.
So you have them like that all over.
Okay.
Now, but Ebhoiyi itself were from the palace of the Oba of Benin. That I can show you here. That I can show you in my book titled Vernacular Architecture of Esaland. Okay. It's historical and both in history and in architecture. I need to show you a table that shows how.
Okay, I think we may have to come to that later.
That's it here.
Okay, the table is here now.
This is, if you look at this one.
Okay.
This one now. This table there. That's figure table. Now look at this figure 2.5.
Okay.
Historical origin of Esa.
Yeah.
That is what this one is. You have the first of Jiso dynasty. You have the Benin Kingdom, the Uromi. You have the first batch of Benin Kingdom. Then from Ile-Ife, you have the second dynasty. You have the Mangrams from Benin. You have Mangrams from Benin. If you look at this table, you will see in 1460, Uromi, Udo, Biaja, Ebhoiyi, and Ewosa came together. In 1460, 1463, Ekpoma, Ohodua, Oria, Emu, and Ubeku
joined.
Then in 1480, Ugboha. In 1490, Ego. In 1504, Okalo. In 1505, Opoji. 1508, Amaho. 1510, Ebele. 1516, Egu Igwebe Uroyi. 1520, Ewato. 1555, Ekmo and Ogwa. Ekmo. Then 1705, Ogwa. 1845, Ugun, Ujogba, Ohwesa. 1895, Ekeke.
Okay.
Keke is the last.
Oh, okay.
So, see the connection. If you look at this, looking at this chart, this figure, explains to you how they came.
Okay.
During the second dynasty, the uppership era.
Okay.
That when we came from the palace. So this is a short history. But if you need to read it, by the time you are reading this book, you discover how we came. It's not true. We are from Benin and from the Robert's Palace.
Okay, thank you very much for
but
that.
the royal families.
Yes.
Egwale or Egware.
Yeah, what is you now?
No, not Uromi, not Uromi.
Okay.
Every time they sang, every village call Egwale, but Anglophone again Egware. They are the royal family. But in Uromi, Egware is not the royal family. Ebhoiyi is the royal family. Okay. It's an exception. Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think that has answered a lot of questions. Because many people, out of ignorance or should I say arrogance, would vehemently reject the notion that any part of Islam came from Benin. I think this is a clear explanation now.
But for example, Egbele village, they are not from Benin.
Okay, we will come to that, sir. So thank you very much, sir. Yes, sir. Now you've explained that. Now, can you give us a brief history of the Ebhoiyi people, sir?
Yes, the brief history of Ebhoiyi people was that it's still there. This is my book.
And please, and the first village that came from Ebhoiyi, please.
Yes.
Yeah.
You will not say the first village because Ebhoiyi, though is large, okay, it's more than 50. It's about 45 to 50% of the entire population and size of the villages in Uromi. Okay. But you are talking about the quarters.
Yes. Okay. Fine.
Ebhoiyi itself is a village.
Okay. Yeah. Then the quarters that made up.
The quarters.
The first quarter that came.
The first quarter is Ebhoiyi Bay. And the traditional ruler then was Ijesa. A bay was there, and the bay was the second son. You can see it here. It's always here in this my chart. A bay was the second son, and when the eldest brother, became the traditional ruler, he had to relocate outside the palace because you don't share the palace with. Anuje will not share the palace with the brothers. Okay. So if you look at this one now, when Jason was there, then Ebe had to get out of that place. He now came to this location of Baikio here, and we now called it now Ewo Ebe. Ewo Ebe means Ewo Nos Ebe. Okay. That's a place for the man called Ebe.
Okay.
So now it becomes a compound name as Ewo Ebe. That's a place for the man called Ebe. That's Ebe's place.
Okay.
Ewo in Esa means place.
Place, right.
Ebe means that place belongs to that person. It's named after him.
Okay.
It's named after Ebe. It now be called Ewo Ebe.
Okay. Meaning Ewo Ebe is the first.
It's the first
quarter that came.
Yes.
To this Uromi from
Yes. Yes. Okay. Around 1463. Around 1463, between 1463 and 1483, around that time.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much for that one again. Then, sir, how many quarters made up Ebhoiyi village?
Now there used to be 19 quarters, but now there are about 21. Because you now have Wagbari quarter now. You now have Omeyeme quarter now added. So 2 added. So it now becomes 21.
Sir, can we get the names of the quarter?
Let me try. Not apart from about 2 or 3, no longer order of seniority now.
Okay. Just
Ebe is the first.
So Ewo Ebe now?
Yes, Ewo Ebe. Second quarter is there are 3 quarters put together now because there are about 4 or 5 siblings. Jemere of Idigu, Unina of Afuda, and Iyo of Idimiyo. They were siblings of the same parents. When Agba, their brother, became the king, they came. So they can count them as one now, in this sense.
Okay.
But there are 3 different quarters, but you can count them as one now. Now, because they came at the same time. Okay. Because they have the same father.
But they are different places now.
Yes, right? You have Idigun there.
Yes.
You know Idigun. Mm-hmm. You have Afuda here,
yes.
where I belong. But the subunit of Afuda is Iyo, who is a younger brother to Iyo. The 3 of them have the same parents. Okay. Now, you now have, after that, let's look at it now so that I can remember all. You now have Dikala, that is the same with Ekomonoa.
Okay.
Then you have Idumengena, that is part of Afuda too, but it's a different quarter. Okay. You have Ebhoiyi that used to be called Biru Nowa. Okay. You have Idumonza. You have Idumarele. You have Ekobaedo. You have Owala. Ekomiokolo, Bekimiokolo. Duwen Biromo. Duwe Bari. Duwo Koji. Duwo Wagbali. Duwo Omeyeme. I don't know if I have left how many I have mentioned. You already have Ebhoiyi.
Yes.
You already have Afuda. Then I don't know which of them I'm leaving out now. You have Idije. Those are part of Ebhoiyi, but they are not the royal. They are not part of the royal family, but they are part of the village. Okay. You have Iduogun. They are part of the village, but they are not the royal family. You have Iduwe Sogba. They are part of the village, but they are not the royal family, but they are part of us. Which other one? Waloke. Okay. Then you have other quarters that are outside Ebhoiyi land.
But for now, we are talking of the real Ebhoiyi for here,
yes,
right here.
They are in other villages, but they are Ebhoiyi.
Okay. Like what you are saying now is we have about 21 of them.
Yes.
Quarters that made up Ebhoiyi.
Yes.
Okay. So I know you cannot remember like that altogether.
You have Afuda at Egbere.
Yeah. Okay. Sir, I thank you for that one, sir. Now, the next question we want to ask again is this. We know that Ebhoiyi is the royal blood. Is every quarter in Ebhoiyi part of the royal blood? Or do we have parts of Ebhoiyi that are not royal blood?
Yes. Kekewebe is one. Inewebe. Idije is another. Iduwe Sogma is another one. And the Ogun. They are quarters in Ebhoiyi, but they are not royal blood.
Like those villages you just mentioned now, do we have anything?
Quarters.
Do we have those quarters you just mentioned, sir? Do you have a brief history on maybe some of them, sir?
Yes.
How they came to join the Ebhoiyi? Yeah.
For example, Idije, they are from Ebhoiyi Dua area, that area. But the Ije was a very powerful native doctor, medicine man, and he was the one who was supporting the Chronology of Eoji spiritually. The Chronology of Eoji at that time relied so much on him and was doing well. That was why Oji was able to convince him to come and settle in Uromi and gave him a land at Dije, and his family grew there. He didn't go back. So the safety of life of the Chronology of Eoji at that time was in the hands of Ije.
Okay.
Spiritually and physically, he was the one protecting him. Now, you go to Due Sogma. Due Sogma's role, for example, Okpo, Ebhoiyi Okpo. Okpo no say Ebhoiyi. The Okpo that belongs to the eldest man in Ebhoiyi. It is the duty of Due Sogma to carry it. When it is needed at the village square, when the elders are meeting at their own village square at the parliament, elders council meeting, and that Okpo is needed. It's a symbol of authority. It's Due Sogma that will bring it there. When the rituals that are supposed to be performed are done, you return him. In fact,
he's the custodian of the
he's the custodian of the Okpo.
Okay.
So you find that is his role.
Okay.
So they have their role they are playing.
Then, do we have another history of those quarter outside the royal blood again?
Yes. Afuda quarters, Ebhoiyi village. They are from this Afuda. You have some 2-3 quarters in Ukuna. I can't remember their names now. Can you help me remember that?
I think the one Daffin.
Yes, they are Ebhoiyi.
I think we will come to that.
Yes.
Now,
Then you go to Ero. There's a 1 quarter at Ero.
okay.
They are Ebhoiyi.
Okay. Now, sir, let me come again now into this next question. You know, Ebhoiyi is a very big village, and as big as it, I want to find out if intermarriage is allowed in Ebhoiyi.
It's a taboo, not allowed. Not allowed. I cannot go and marry from Iduwantafin and Tukune. It's not possible.
But you mentioned that not every Ebhoiyi is a royal blood. What about those non-royal
Those
blood?
are allowed.
Okay.
I can marry from Idije. I can marry from Kekewebe. I can marry from Iduogun or Iduwe Sogma. Those are not royal blood. But you cannot marry from Ebhoiyi that is the royal blood. In this sense, when we are talking of Ebhoiyi, when you just say generally Ebhoiyi, you are referring to the royal blood in Ebhoiyi. Intermarriage is a taboo for an Ebhoiyi son or daughter to marry in the same village, except in these sub-units now, these quarters, like Kekewebe, Idije, Iduwe Sogma, and Iduogun.
Okay, meaning the royal blood can marry from those areas.
Yes.
Okay. What about this Saba?
This Saba is not Ebhoiyi, it's not the royal blood.
Okay, they can still marry from there.
Yes.
Okay. Now let me throw this question in answer. Supposing out of ignorance or arrogance, a royal blood got married to a royal blood and maybe they have children, what are the consequences, sir?
And before you do that, I forgot to mention Dumedoloji as one of the quarters in Ebhoiyi.
Okay, good.
Now, it's a taboo. You cannot do that. In our language, in this time, you say Omoreomo.
Okay.
It's like a brother and sister of the same parents marrying each other. So it's not a taboo. If that happens, that person is ostracized. Not just temporarily. And the children from that marriage are not taken as children for that man. By the time the man passes away, the married children are not allowed to perform the rites they were supposed to perform for the sake of their late father. Like the final burial ceremony you call
Itolimi.
or Ugbe. You will not allow the person. And until you perform the Itolimi and Ugbe, the Ugbe has now been
Abolished.
You are not entitled to inherit.
Uromi has produced a lot of great kings. So we all know that they are all of Ebhoiyi descent. So can we get the names of the kings that have been produced in Uromi from the first to the current ones?
Yes, this is my book.
Okay.
For Uromi, Owu would have been the first Onuji.
Would have been the first Onuji?
Owu of Ebhoiyi.
Yeah.
Would have been the first Onuji. In fact, the Ebhoiyi people have royal blood too.
Then what happened to Owu? Why is the Owu not the king?
Owu was the leader of the royal family.
That came from Benin, right?
Yes. And after a number of years, Oba now sent for all his sons that came to Eastern land to become the leader, community leaders. And so that was what happened. And they went, Oba sent for them in order to crown them formally as the traditional rulers.
Yeah.
Ogu was the first that was supposed to be the first king of Uromi. But when the Oba Benin sent for his children that came from Benin, the reason for their coming is a different issue altogether.
Okay.
He wanted to crown them so that they would become the community leaders as kings. Owu had a problem, had a sore on his feet because he worked on Ipapa, the beans. Our local beans called Ipapa. Worked on the beans. And the shell of that beans punctured his soul, and the sore became serious. He could not walk to Benin because it would take 3 days to go to Benin. So he sent his younger brother, Ijesa, to represent him. When he got there and reported, Oba said that you don't crown somebody in absentia. So you, the messenger and the brother and the royal blood too, you now crowned him as the king. That was how we lost out. That is why today now, Ebhoiyi people, Ebhoiyi community, they do not eat Ipapa. That are popular beans.
Because Papa took away their crown.
Yes, took away their crown. So
That's
now,
interesting. Okay.
the other issue is Ijesa became the first traditional ruler of Uromi in 1463. Next was Agba, 1483.
Agba.
Yes.
After Ijesa.
Yes, 1483. And that is our own ancestor. The Idigun, Afuda, Idumiyo, Agba was our father. Okay. Then the eldest son was Ikenoa. That was the eldest brother to Jimere Unina Adio. Now, after that, you have Ihenoa. Ihenoa was 1504. After that is Ihenoa. After Ihenoa is Ihisiwojiri. After Ihisiwojiri is Ukoya. After Okoya, Akize. After Akize, Kimigbali. After Kimigbali, Wagbo. Then after Wagbo, Ediale. After Ediale, Akilome. Then you have Chronology in 1873. Chronology is the ancestor to Bekimi Okolo.
Okay.
You can see the gap between Afuda now and the Bekimi Okolo.
Okay.
Ours was 1504. I mean, yes, 1504. Then, while that of
Bekimi
Bekimi
Okolo.
Okolo was in 1901.
It's far apart.
Yes. Obude Okoji was the first son to Okolonoji. Then, that Okoji, Obudi, alias Obudi.
Okay.
Then that was 1904. He ruled from 1904 to 1944. Wagbali, 1944 to 1960. Clement Edenoji Okoji, 1960 to 1978. Then Stephen Omeme Edenoji the first, 1978 to 1987. Then Ansem Odarego Edenoji the second, 1987 to date.
Okay. How many kings have we had now?
There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
17 kings.
So far.
Wow. But there's one of them that is actually giving me kind of curiosity. I want to find out about that Agba. I discover Agba is a deity in the palace of Chronology of Uromi. Why was Agba deified? Why is it that only him was a deity or is being worshipped as a deity?
Agba was a warrior, and he had a problem with the Oba of Benin then. And he waged war, Oba of Benin waged war against Agba. And he came, Agba killed him. And Benin waged war against Uromi. And you know what that means? That Benin to wage war against small Uromi.
It's not somebody who want to be funny.
You know what that means?
It will be funny.
So when they came, and that time for you to defeat a community or a town is to kill the king and cut off his head. You don't need to be fighting all the inhabitants. No.
Okay.
You go straight to the king, his palace, go straight for him, kill him and cut his head. You take his head away. Once you have taken his head away, the people will surrender. It's not like the war where you will not have, where you have to be killing everybody or the military. No.
You target the king.
The war engagement that time was that except the people decide to resist. That's why you fight the people, the soldiers of the people. Otherwise, if you can get to the palace and just capture the king and kill him, the entire community will surrender. But you will not be able to do it until you have killed so many persons, soldiers.
The defenders of the king. Right?
Yes. So that was what happened. So when they now came and wanted to kill Agba, Agba walked into this bush we call Eoji in Uromi. You know that Dakwa. When they entered, they could not find him. So Agba is the only traditional ruler or king in Uromi that was never found dead, that was not buried, and was not defeated by anybody.
He wasn't buried.
He wasn't buried.
Okay.
They could not find him. But that Dakwa.
I mean, that was the reason they defied him.
That was why the reason they defied him.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. Thank you very much for that one, sir. There's one thing I observe here in Uromi. In the gathering, Ebhoiyi don't break kola. And maybe when they are sharing kola, on the third part is when they normally give on the kola to the Ebhoiyi people. First, sir, why don't Ebhoiyi break kola in a gathering here in Uromi?
It's not just Ebhoiyi, in Isan.
All right. Okay.
Royal traditional rulers don't break kola. Remember those days that when you harvest kola from the tree, the pod, when somebody visits you, you remove the kola from the pod in the presence of your visitor. You offer it to him. And you remember the kola nut itself has its own skin covering it. Another skin covering it.
Yes. White color.
Yes. You need to peel off that succulent skin before you can reach the real kola nut.
Kola itself.
So in the process of doing that, you would have soiled your hands with that succulent skin. Because it has 2-3 colors. Black, white, and the rest. And it will not be good for the king to break the kola and begin to wash his hand or clean his hands. Only for other people, less dignitaries, will not be eating the kola. That's labor. Breaking of kola is labor. It's labor intensive, traditionally. So somebody else has to break the kola, clean it up and break it, and give, and Onoje will not take from it and eat. In any case, you don't just break it after the prayer, you break it and offer it to the Onoje. No. You offer the kola not to the Onoje. Onoje will pray over it and authorize somebody to break it that the culture allows. And when the person breaks it, he will first of all give it to the person who offered the kola. Assuming he's visiting me. He will first of all give to me, that person that breaks the kola will give it to me and will start eating it in the presence of everybody. Then the man that has broken it will have to take a lobe from it again and start to eat. So two of us now will have to prove to the Onoje that there's no poison in the kola. Until that is done, there's no assurance that that kola is not poisoned. It is at the third turn that the Onoje will not take.
It's not clear to him.
Yeah, even in the present day political system arrangement, you don't offer food to the governor or the president just like that because you cooked it and gave it to him. I know for sure, though I'm not there, that there must be a way of check and balancing, way that the security there will make sure that that food that the president or the governor is going to eat is not poisoned. It's easy to poison somebody. So that is the essence.
Okay. Then again, among the Ebhoiyi, if they are in the gathering, only the Ebhoiyi people, how is kola not broken?
Yes, we have the eldest man is supposed to break it. But once he authorizes anybody to break it, then it's himself that has broken it. In other case, you can call him, I don't know what to say now, whether the prime minister or whatever, or SSA or whatever. He's the person that will break the kola.
Okay.
By the authority of the Ojonwere. But once that person breaks it, it is the Ojon that has broken it.
Because he gave the permission and authority.
Yes, even the Onoje, if any other person breaks the kola when Onoje is sitting down, it's Onoje that has authorized the person. So Onoje that has broken the kola. But he will not physically be cleaning the kola and be breaking it.
Okay.
Culturally, whoever that is authorized to break it is only doing that labor. The labor aspect of it. But the authority to break rests on the Onoje and the eldest person in the way.
But there is a question I think I have here now, like in Uromi now, if it's a gathering of Uromi alone, Egbele will be called upon to break the kola. Is it a sign of labor or a sign of respect, sir?
No, in well, sometimes it depends on the gathering. If it's in the palace, Egbele, you start with Egbele. But if in the entire community, like social wakekeeping, social ceremony, public ceremony, you ask for the Bini person.
Okay.
The next, if there be no Bini man, you ask for the Ura person.
Okay.
When Ura person is not there, you ask for the Erua person. When When there's no Yoruba person, then you go for Egbele. But when we are in the palace, it is the Egbele man you go for. You now exclude those ones. It is Egbele because Egbe is the oldest village in Uromi. There were already that community, they were already there by 1460 when Ogu and Ijesa came in.
Egbele was already existing.
Yes, was already existing.
Okay.
They are the number one village. They are the oldest people in the town.
Meaning when Ogu came, they met people already in Uromi.
Yes. And the people were the Egbele people.
Okay.
You now understand it now?
Sure, exactly. Okay, I can get it clear now.
Yes.
Meaning,
at that time, when Ijesa came, there was no Walo.
Okay.
The three Walo you have, Walo Pere, Walo Oke, then Walo Sogo, they were not in existence.
Meaning they don't came before those ones came?
Yes. So they were not in existence. Ukoni was not in existence. Amedohia was not in existence. The only village the only village quarter that was in existence is Opuje in Amedohia.
Meaning Egbele and Opuje now?
Yes, some quarters in some places. Not all of them.
Okay, I mean the only came before these other ones joined?
Yes.
Okay. The only is their landlord?
Yes.
that is interesting, sir. Very, very interesting. I think that is a very beautiful. But it's like, look at the history of Uromi. Many people thought that our history started in 1460. But I think you've
much more before 1460. Okay. Kingship in Uromi started in 1463.
Okay.
Not 1460.
And that is what people are trying to... People didn't get the difference.
Kingship in Uromi started in 1463. But Owu and Ijesa came to Uromi in 1460.
Okay.
At the time they came, they simply asserted themselves as the leader of Uromi because they were the children to the Oba of Benin. Okay. It's like Tinubu, who is the president of Nigeria, coming to Edo State and saying, I'm the governor of Edo State. It's difficult for you to really fight him if it was a traditional setting.
Okay.
Even now, that is even the political setting. If Tinubu's son comes to Edo State, the governor will be compelled to respect him, honor him, receive him well. Is it not so?
Yeah, very, very true.
That's it.
Because the president's son is around.
For his president, they will say the president's son. Maybe later on, the president can decide to say, okay, anybody from any state can be governor in any state.
And
maybe for the purpose of making his son the governor of Edo State. Okay. After that law is enacted in the National Assembly, the son will now come and contest as governor of Edo State and become governor.
Okay, that was the practice of that period.
It is akin to what happened.
I can see the picture very,
they came from Benin and said they were children to the Oba of Benin, and nobody could challenge them because those who were already on ground knew that the Oba had wielded so much power.
Okay.
So they didn't challenge them. Until their father now said, okay, come, let me properly install you people as traditional rulers now.
Okay, the picture is clearer
so
now. So
they were properly installed as kings now in 1463. Otherwise, 1460 to 1463, they were there telling people that we are now your leaders, we are Oba's children. Nobody could challenge them.
And without confirmation?
Without installation.
Okay. So when they were installed now was the time they now took the
mantle of office. Okay. That was when they got the mantle of office.
What a beautiful day. Thank you very much, sir.
Yes.
We've really had much today. You know, we promised that we are going to be doing this interview in series. And I'm sure you've heard a lot from our prince, our Sign Language Authority and the History Authority. And I'm very sure many of you must have heard one thing or one or two things for the first time all your life from his mouth today. In fact, everything was deep, and he gave us the picture of the setting of Ebhoiyi, how they came, who they met, how they were established, how they became king, and all that. And I think this is a deep insight into the history of Ebhoiyi and Uromi too, because like he rightly said, Ebhoiyi is made up almost half of Uromi when it comes to population. And even beside that, when you come to people that matter, you cannot count them out because they are people you cannot ignore anywhere or anyhow. So like I said before, when we were opening this game, we are out to showcase the history of our people to the whole world. Because if we don't do it, nobody will do it for us. It's our duty to do it, and we just have to do it. Because when you lose your history, you become a lost people. Your history defines who you are. This is one thing we must have at the back of our mind, and the reason why we must wake up to make sure we defend our history. You see, our history, it is where our language is taken from. Because when your history is lost, your language will be lost as well. And when both is lost, or when both are lost, my dear, you are almost lost forever. So for this reason, I want some people, whatever they may be, to wake up and make sure they make their history indelible, or they make it everlasting. It can be done. It can be done the way we are doing it now, and it can be done maybe through writing. But we are no longer at the age when people love to read. People want to watch now more than they want to read. It is we are putting them on line like this in a one-on-one discussion with people. So on the whole, we want to say a big thank you to our brother, our father, for the time he has given to us in all this historical interview in the aspect of this documentary. We are really proud of you, sir, and we always come here when we have any challenges, because we know you have a lot to offer us once we come here. So we are saying a big thank you to you on behalf of Ego Studio. Before we go now, I want to greet some people finally before we round up the program, sir. Just a greeting to some people, sir.
Okay, now, okay, Samara. Any Genevieve, Maybe Zaki. Maybe I come in and let me manage. I believe in Manos. And some of the black animal, oh, mamma, who I dig below. Take one of your Kakeva. May you come on this. Be near what be near who I jam one nearly. I got up I got up a terry kick. We gather me again. I will not some is a kifree. Bagma Zissa. Bagma, we will be no heck, Mary Alvesa. Now that me, my camera be my, it must have my Ebhoiyi Malu, my caloy. Begins under twin. It is under hand. Now that me again, I can't be who are you.
So on that note, we've come to the end of the first segment of the documentary without a vote of thank. On behalf of Ego Studio, we say big thank you to all of you for being with us all this while. And watch out for the next segment of this Ebhoiyi documentary. We are not through yet. We just ended the first part of it, the opening. So anytime from now, the second one will be out. So wait and expect that one soon. Thank you. Your host, Sunday Eimari Inegbedose, Ego Studio, London, UK. Thank you for being with us all this while. Thank you.